Oh, just Nyla whiting out another positives page because she messed up. Because do we go a month here without Nyla messing up on her positives page? No. Hey, what's up, people on the internet out there? Nyla here, and we are here with my October 2020 plan with me. One of the months that I have been literally waiting for, and I'm excited it's finally here. Now, before anyone says it, I know that my October theme is obviously not a spooky theme, and October is a spooky month. Now, I love spooky season as much as the next person, but October is my birth month, and this year I turned 21, which is kind of a big deal, here in the States. And I decided to center my theme around my 21st birthday just to bring a little more excitement back to it, since I lost some of it the moment I moved home and no longer live with my friends. So to start off on my cover page, I decided to draw two champagne glasses and just write October in a typical calligraphy font, except I made it a little more bold because I wanted it to really stand out, since the only drawing that is on this page are the champagne glasses, which have the champagne tin, and it's not that big and bright, so I wanted something on this page to stand out. I'm going in with a dark blue marker around the edge of the page because I really thought that blue would add a nice touch of color to this theme. My original colors were just golds, champagnes, and blacks, but when I was looking at it and thinking about it, I knew I needed some other accent color, and originally I was going to go with purple, since purple is probably my second favorite color next to black, but I decided to go with blue, and I actually think it fits a lot better and makes it a lot more adult in a way, and I actually just really love it. I finished off the cover page with, of course, I'm bringing back washi tape this month since I didn't use any last month. I used this gold, this like white gold, the black dotted one, and this thin blue washi tape with flowers on it. Moving on from that, we're going on to my monthly log, which, as you saw at first, I wanted to do only the corners of the boxes, but I didn't like how that looked, so we're going with the traditional calendar look, as I have previously. Of course, my boxes are 6x5 as always, and I used the Dingbats Auto Pen to achieve the thin black lines that I needed to. Moving on from that, I took my Tombow dual brush pen in black, which I actually, you'll see later, need a new one, and I've had this pen for 3 years, and it's gonna break my heart to have to, move on from it, but that's okay, we do that here. And I just, of course, drew circles so I could put the numbers in it. Later on, you'll see I take a Uniball gold pen to fill in the numbers, but right now I'm just drawing a bunch of circles with my Tombow dual brush pen in black. I've done this before on many monthly spreads, but I feel like the black dots always add more contrast to a page, and when a monthly log is this simple and it's just the typical calendar spread, I like to add contrast because then it makes the page just feel a little bit more complete. Also, you might not be able to see the gold pen very well because the lighting in this video is not the best. Sadly, the light hits some of the numbers and doesn't hit some of the numbers correctly. So I just wanted to clarify that yes, you can see all the numbers. They do show up perfectly, and also I messed up. So when I was originally drawing the calendar, I only drew 30 days instead of 31. But knowing me, are we shocked? No. It's also not the only mistake I make, which we all know from the intro, so look out for that. So I went ahead and drew out my goals and my notes boxes with a gold Crayola Super Tip, and I was having a bit of trouble trying to think of how I should draw in the titles, so I had a brain fart and decided to just move forward and start writing in the boxes for my days of the week. Again, we are a big fan of contrast here, so I decided to draw in black boxes, and then I used that same gold pen that I used for the numbers and just wrote in the days of the week, abbreviated, because on Mondays I couldn't fit Monday, so I ended up just doing it abbreviated for the whole entire week. Going back in with that gold super tip, I decided to write block letters for the titles, and the way I did it was I had them cut off at the bottom, so it's not the entire letter, but it does say what it needs to say. I like the aesthetic of that because it's not exactly a full title, and it sort of looks like it's more into the box itself rather than just a word. To write the heading for the calendar itself, I took this metallic brush pen that I had and wrote October, and then I went in with a dark blue super tip and added a small little shadow just to add some more effects to it, and so it looked a little less plain. Going in with that same super tip, I just wrote monthly log right under the title, and that was going to be it for the title, but you'll see I add some small details later. Of course, I went in with the same washi tapes that I used on the cover page, fixed it because I didn't like the way that it was placed, and then I went in with the white pen again because some of the dark blue was touching the metallic and I wanted to make sure that it was very separated. So that was it for the title. And then over here on the left hand side, I'm adding this little champagne glass, and there's champagne being poured into the glass, and I just added a little small quote that honestly I've been told since I was 18, but I had to add it one more time because I feel like this is the last time that I will be hearing it, and it just says, "Welcome to adulthood." I wrote adulthood out in a gold metallic brush pen and then added the welcome to with a couple of blue super tips, and that was it basically for the cover page. And I'm not even trying to exaggerate when I say every year since I was 18, because I have cards that literally say welcome to adulthood from my 19th birthday, my 20th birthday, my 18th birthday, and I'm like, how long have I been entering adulthood? Because I feel like I am an adult and I'm going to be an adult for the rest of my life now. So next, of course, we have my trackers, and guess what? I actually tried something new this month. Well, not exactly new, something old, but I brought it back. And what I'm doing is for the mood tracker, I actually have 31 different spots that I'm going to color in based on my mood. And for the 31 different spots, again, keeping up with the theme, I decided to use different types of drink cups. And all I had to do was like Google drink cups, and I saw a bunch, like a tall glass or a martini glass, a wine glass. There's so many different cups that you could have drawn, and I decided to just stick with the 21 theme, and I actually really enjoyed it. I got to sit down and just doodle for a bit. Of course, I drew it out in pencil, which you could see in some areas, and then I went in with my Dingbats auto pen and used the smaller side to get the precise lines that I wanted to. Of course, drawing out all these took a lot of time, but I really enjoyed it because it was relaxing and it was a pattern. So once I kept going, it just got easier and easier. I also just wanted to say that if you do drink, make sure you do it responsibly and drink a lot of water and whatnot. You probably already know the rules. I don't have to reiterate, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone, is being responsible and taking care of their bodies. So I'm really excited to see how this actually turns out because it's going to be an array of colors rather than a line graph. I'm very used to seeing my mood fluctuate, but this time I'm going to see what the overall month is like. And I feel like that's going to help me with my recap, and also I just like to know how I was feeling the entire month. Lastly, after I finish up these last couple of glasses, I go in and I just number them, of course, 1 to 31, and that was a lot easier because I actually counted it out beforehand, so I didn't make a mistake on this one. I sort of just put the numbers wherever I felt like it could fit. It really didn't matter as long as each glass had a number at the end of the day. And there I am drawing in the little key with the 5 boxes, sad face on the left, happy face on the right, face in the middle. Moving on from that, I go on to my habit tracker, which is normal, although I did count it wrong and now I have 13 habits instead of 12. Unfortunate that I have to track one more thing, but honestly, maybe a good thing. And this time I counted backwards to make sure I had 31, so I didn't make a mistake there and was very proud of myself about that. I'm using the Dingbats Auto Pen to outline everything, and then I'm using my Micron in 01 to write in the numbers and the days of the week, which I do every time. I really like the Dingbats Auto Pen because of the thickness, and I also like the way the tip is because I feel like I'm not gonna bend it too far and ruin the pen itself if I write too hard. So for the titles, I use that same metallic pens that I've been using the entire spreads. I use the blue one to write in Mood Tracker and the gold one to write in Habit Tracker. I just went in with a regular font, sort of cursive, a little bit messy, and just wrote in the titles. Then I added where I write in my habits using one of my super tips. I highlighted the Mondays with the gold super tip, and then I added some tape to divide up the space. I was having a little bit of trouble trying to figure out what to put in that empty spot. And then I went back to my monthly log. I'm not sure why, but I realized that I didn't even outline adulthood and you couldn't really see it that well. So I went in with my Dingbats Auto Pen and decided to just outline it real quick while I sat there and thought about what to fill in the empty space with. The reason that I couldn't figure out what to put there is because my theme has to do with the cups and my mood tracker is literally all cups. So the way that I saved this page was washi tape, which is a savior all the time. And then I added these little accent circles with the colors that I'm using, the blues and the golds, because I really wanted to complete the page and I wanted it to look filled out. And I feel like it added the perfect little touch without adding too much. I then colored in the tracker for the mood tracker, and then I moved on to the next page. So moving on, obviously we have my positives page, which I messed up on the first number. Like, I know I mess up on my positives page every single month, but how on the first number and then again on the third? It's as if I wasn't even counting. So I ended up having to use a whiteout pen instead of just the white pen because it wasn't pigmented enough. And the whiteout pen actually worked perfectly, and it's something that I'm probably going to be using a lot more because I didn't even know I had it until I really looked through my pencil pouch. So then I just continued to fill out the rest of the numbers up till 31, and we know whenever there's 31 days, I have to shorten the numbers 25 to 31 to only 3 spaces instead of 4, which I did until I realized I skipped another square above 29, and there was only 2 left for 31. I thought I already messed up on this page, and I messed up again. I always do. It's my positives page. I have to mess up at least once. But I'm gonna fix that later. You know, it's not that big of a deal right now. 31st of October is a very long time from now, actually, so it's good. I also just wrote in the title again, doing the same font that I did with the October, again on positives, using the same metallic pen and going in with the dark blue and adding a small shadow. Writing 3 and a day with that same dark blue pen. Ended it by adding some washi tape, and I actually really liked that the whole page was mostly blue, really highlighted that color. Moving on to the next page, I have a brain dump, and I did the same thing that I did with the notes and the goals box, where I just wrote a gold box and then added in the title at the bottom, making sure it's cut off at the end. On the right hand side, I brought back a spread that I haven't done since June, and it is the weekly school log. I added it back because fall quarter starts October 1st, which is so crazy because I feel like I haven't been in class for so long. It's been since August, but like I haven't had class for a solid month now. So I added in the blue lines to divide up the page by week and by class. And then on the left hand side, I added in the black circles, to add in the weeks. So week 1, 2, 3, and 4. I wrote in the dates that the weeks lie on, and then I ended off with messing up because I realized week 4 ends in November and not in October. Easy fix, not a problem. I'll put in my classes later, obviously. I didn't have them in front of me, so I couldn't write them in. And so ending off this plan with me, like we end off every plan with me, is the first week of October. I, again, took it back to a spread that I did back in July. I don't think I've done it since July. Correct me if I'm wrong. I may have done it in August. But it's the weekly events on top and the master to-do list on the bottom. So taking my black Dingbats Auto Pen, I decided to just write in the weekly events section. I blocked off the top so I could write the titles in with the gold pen, And then I divided the section so I have a space to write in to-dos and I have a space to write in events. I like dividing it up in case I have assignments due. I think I've explained this before, but just to reiterate it again. This spread has honestly changed my life because before I would have to write a to-do list on a sticky note instead of writing it on the page itself, but now I get my to-do list and I get an area to mark down any due dates that I have, and it's perfect. Took the dark blue Crayola super tip just to make the to-do list, and then I took the gold one to add my groceries and my notes section. I use the same font that I did earlier with the groceries and the notes section, and then I just used the metallic blue pen to write in the titles for the to-do lists. When I was writing in groceries, I thought I was not going to have enough room because I ended up starting off too close to the right-hand side. But I fit it in because I was not looking forward to having to fix yet another mistake made. When I wrote in the lists, I wrote in school, personal, and work in the same font that I did for like the mood and habit tracker, and then I used my gold pen to add in the days of the week. I really can't believe that October is starting so soon. Quarantine has felt like forever, even though it's not really quarantine anymore. But I cannot believe that October is literally in a couple days from when I post. Hopefully, did I get this up in September? Because that would be great. Going into the last details, I wrote in weekly events with the blue pens. I added 2 champagne glasses and some washi tape. So here is the final flip through. I say this every video, but thank you to everyone who continues to support me. I really appreciate it, and I love you all. I keep doing this because I enjoy it, and the support I get is just another plus. So thank you all, subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys next month. Peace out, y'all.